It was originally incorporated in 1960 as Nigeria Acceptances Limited. In 1969, the bank was licensed as Nigeria's first merchant bank. With the indigenization decree of 1972, it became fully government-owned and was managed in partnership with Greenfield Bank Limited, Continental International Finance Company Illinois, and American Express Bank Limited between 1974 and 1992. In 1992, the bank was partly privatized and listed as a public company on the Nigeria Stock Exchange. Fast forward 8 years later, in 2000, the federal government sold its residual interest in the bank, effectively making it a fully privatized institution. In January 2006, as part of the consolidation of the Nigerian banking industry, Now Bank completed a merger with 4 other Nigerian banks and adopted the name Sterling Bank. The merged entities were successfully integrated and have operated as a consolidated group ever since. Sterling Bank now operates as a national commercial bank, disposing of holdings in subsidiaries and affiliate companies. In mid-2011, it acquired the franchise of the erstwhile Equatorial Trust Bank. With over 170 branches in Nigeria and well over 1 million customers, the bank provides a full range of financial products and services to individuals, businesses, government agencies, and non-profit organizations, offering savings and current accounts, personal and corporate loans, debit and credit cards, cash management, treasury services, internet and telephone banking, asset management, equipment leasing, money market operations, insurance, investment products, trade and structured finance products, financial advisory services, pensions management, stockbroking, and registrar services. I had a chat with the Managing Director, CEO of Sterling Bank, Abubakar Suleiman. We began the conversation with the various sectors chosen by Sterling Bank to carry out CSR activities.
In the course of our strategy and our reflection, we concluded that the business of impact is actually the biggest business of the future, and that corporations that move increasingly towards impact and building their viability on impacting society are the ones that have a chance at succeeding. And so we ended up with what we call the heart sector, which is health, education, agriculture, renewable energy, and transport. All of these are areas that are challenged, but they're also areas of great opportunities to grow. So we focused on them.
Your mantra, committed to be nature's keeper, shows that Sterling Bank takes environmental issues very seriously. Share with us some of the projects you have done targeted at keeping and preserving the environment.
One of the long-standing projects we have is what we call the Sterling Environmental Makeover, which was our approach to bring everybody together towards protecting the environment. And the way that works is all of us, including myself and sometimes members of our board, we visit some of the dirtiest marketplaces in the country, and we bring in the people in the market, we bring in people from government to contribute to cleaning it up, hoping that we create a culture of people keeping the environment clean. The bigger project has been supporting states towards providing input for them towards cleaning. We've provided over 100,000 cleaning uniform for states. We are supporting 27 states right now. Our ambition is to support all the states in Nigeria. That has been useful because it makes it possible for the government to continue with its own ongoing cleaning project. We've also tried to do mindset projects that change the mindset. One of it is the recycling project, where we work with partners to recycle waste and use the proceeds to support people from people who are in desperate need. And finally, we also had a recycler project where we try to convert waste to art. We do have a very interesting art installation at Muri-Okunola Park now, which is the output of one of those competitions. So for us, we need engagement in environment. It's not just about putting money behind it, it's about getting the society to participate in it. Rather than dump the used batteries, we're working with partners to convert that into planting trees in our environment.
Talking about arts, it's not every day we see companies interested in arts and culture. I mean, every year you organize the Ake Arts and Book Festival. Tell us why you took so much interest in education.
For us, there is no way you can be active in supporting education and not be interested in the arts. A huge part of that is that as Africans, we actually have a competitive advantage in arts, and we need to develop that. We think that as Nigerians, and in fact as Africans, we need to also tell our stories. Our work is to support those who are telling these stories, to encourage them to bring out the stories that will develop the future, because it is from those stories that we unite and we can build the future. So it is beyond just education. It's about the African identity. It's about rebuilding Nigeria around a common understanding and I guess an evolving culture for Nigerians as a whole. I'm quite proud of what we've done with educational finance. We decided to look at the bottom of the pyramid, and we use our agent banking network to give educational finance to parents who could not afford to pay school fees. We've impacted over 8,000 children across the country in about roughly 5,800 households. What this did for the schools and for the community was so impactful that the bankers gave us an award for banking in the community. It was a global award, and it's something that has encouraged us to continue to increase our participation in funding education at the rural communities and at the villages. Also, in the field of education, one of the things I'm most excited about are the partners we have for teacher training. We actually work with 3 different partners. Amongst them is Teach for Nigeria, 1 million teachers, and the Teachers Training Network, which is the ones that has had the most impact in our view in terms of our partnership. We've trained over 10,000 teachers, and we estimate that 150,000 students have been impacted by that. So we just got into a partnership with Nexford, where we're able to take children straight out of secondary school and put them on a work-study program where we provide 85% scholarship for the student. At the same time, we give them work experience over a period of 3 years, and they will graduate with a degree program.
Having skilled professionals is not just a way of improving the economy, it also reduces crime rates in any nation. Tell us how much you have invested in improving or developing entrepreneurship in the country.
We have over 50 billion naira committed to supporting small businesses. Over the last couple of years, we've gone around the whole country training entrepreneurs. We've also run pitching event working with Enterprise Development Center of the Pan-African University to try and identify entrepreneurs of the future and to support them. So we've been partnering with I Create Africa to run a festival that also goes around the country to identify the best skills in vocational areas. And the intention is to project vocational skills as a way of life.
Let's talk about financial inclusion. One project that caught my attention that Sterling Bank does is helping the unbanked and underbanked. Tell us how this model works and why you have shown interest in these individuals.
So I am a fairly critical person when it comes to issues around financial exclusion. My criticism comes from the fact that we seem to be measuring data that doesn't translate into improvement in quality of life. The biggest financial inclusion project we did was with the farmers, where we were the first bank to participate in the Anchor Borrower Scheme, and in the process unlock a series of value for rural farmers across the country, starting from the rice farmers in Kebbi. And this takes us to the question about the underbanked, people who already have access to a banking account or some form of formal banking services, but where all they get is just access to payments. Again, we keep arguing that this cannot grow the economy. And so we use educational finance, the micro banking educational finance project, for instance, called Edu Finance, to grant access to credit to people in rural communities and people, the urban masses that have never had access to credit before.
Sterling Bank doesn't just focus on health needs of people. You also focus on health professionals who actually risk their lives every day to protect other people. Tell us the experience of Sterling Bank in the health sector.
A lot of these health workers, apart from their compensation, their salary, which is clearly inadequate, were not being paid any hazard allowance. So we focused on that. We've set a board, created a board to handle a fund, and the fund then paid hazard allowance to all the health workers that were at the front line of the COVID-19 battle. What that did was it motivated the health workers. It also made it possible for them to protect themselves.
I'm a woman, so it's only normal that I'm very concerned about women, especially in a situation where gender equality is still not fully accepted. What is Sterling Bank doing to carry women along?
Human resource function in Sterling Bank did a review recently, and they wanted to find out why there were so few women at the top of the organization. And we realized that when you look at it, it was a very strange inverted pyramid, where at the bottom of the pyramid, it's 50-50% men, women. But as you go further up the pyramid, increasingly the number of women declined and men then took over. And we wanted to find out why. One of the things we did was to build a crèche so that when women have children, that the pressure of coping with the newborn as well as work does not then force them to leave the workspace. We then introduced the flexible workplace and flexible work time. So when women come back from maternity, they are not required to resume at a regular time. They can choose when to resume and when to close. So for us, it's about transforming the workplace so that women have a fair chance of making it to the top. And we're beginning to see results in that. We're beginning to see more women remain in our workplace and grow to the top. We've successfully trained over 5,000 women on financial inclusion in Kaduna and Bayelsa State, and we hope to scale that across. And the reason we did that was we realized that for women to become independent, they actually need to be more financially literate so that they can build their own businesses and build wealth. In the area of advocacy, we have partnered to sponsor a movie, Diamonds in the Sky, and the intention is to also bring attention to breast cancer and how it affects women. This is currently available and live streaming on major platforms. So we continue to look at ways to advocate for the benefit of women.
Sterling Bank has won several awards in agriculture. What are you doing differently?
What Sterling has done in agriculture is to actually build a knowledge base. So we've become the industry go-to institution because our knowledge in agriculture and the team that we've built is one of the best. Both the competitors, the regulators, as well as the participants in the sector look up to us in many ways. Once you have that level of knowledge and understanding, it's very easy for you to then finance. And so we've also been very aggressive. Whereas people are trying to achieve the 5% target for loan to deposit, we've set for ourselves a 10% target. We want 10% of our loan book to go into agriculture. The last thing we've done that is enabling us to do more in agriculture is that we focus on solving the problems in the sectors. One of the big ones is we have a platform we're building called Sabex, which is a digital commodity exchange we're doing in partnership with Afex. What it does is that it provides a platform to connect the farmers directly with the marketplace. So one of the most rewarding work we've done also for farmers in Nigeria is to start the Nigerian Farmers Radio. And the objective is to bridge the gap in available information in agriculture and what the farmers in the village can access. The other one we've done is we fund the first and only Africa-wide Agricultural Summit. The Agricultural Summit Africa, which we started 3 years ago, has become so huge that the last edition of it had people from over 20 countries participating. It's happening in about a week. And right now, the very first week of opening up to participation, we had close to 10,000 people who have already registered. What it does is it brings expertise across the various aspects of agriculture and across the continent. And also there are deal rooms where we bring in investors as well as the businesses in agriculture. And there's also a marketplace where we're able to bring people together so that they can actually consummate transactions.
Or are you planning to pay more attention to a particular sector? Tell us your plans.
We feel that the 5 sectors that we focused on have such a huge capacity for growth that over the next couple of years, primarily we'll continue to dig deep into that. We've done a lot in agriculture. We're beginning to see the impact of our work in renewable energy. Over the next couple of years, we intend to play a very important role in enabling transformation in the health sector, ranging from work with pharmaceutical companies to begin to produce some of our own drugs locally, as well as work with the telemedicine platform so that people can access high quality consultation. And in the education space, we feel that the massive investment that has been done by Western countries in educational infrastructure doesn't need to be replicated. We can actually leverage on technology to grant access to the same quality of faculty to our people, and hopefully to reduce the time it takes to educate our people while giving them practical experience in the workplace.